This week in Gran Turismo, I send it. In Daily Race A, Daily Race B sees me go around the outside. At Trial Mountain Reverse, in Daily Race C, I cause the crash as Lewis goes for a spin. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2024. Maybe not week this week, I'm pretty honest with you. We have two Group 3 races and a Group 4 race. Now, the first one is in the background. We are in Group 3 at Interlagos. Yes, indeed. This was a very common combo in the past. Was it in GT7 briefly, but we haven't seen it in a little while. DR updates are off. We're doing 6 laps here. Rolling start, racing medium tyres, and you can adjust the brake balance and earn yourself 600% of the credits you would have won, which is kind of a nice reward, to be honest with you, on what it actually should be. Now, if you don't want to do this race and you want to jump to Daily Race B or Race C, you can check out those timestamps in the background and jump to those races if you prefer to have a little gander at those. However, we're looking at Race A now. In terms of statistics, we've used this track 12 times in Gran Turismo 7. 5 of those have been with this track and car combo, and it's 8th on the leaderboard. And we last used it on the 8th of July as well. Turn 1 crashes here can happen quite easily. Slippy curbs, and the penalty line is uphill, which means it's a bit more annoying and a bit stronger in terms of the penalty you are given. We're going to jump into this race then. I chose the Porsche 911 RSR. Let's jump into this one and let's see what everyone else picked and how I got on. Here we are then at the start of this one. Lots of Porsches, Lamborghini Huracan in P3, a Mercedes in P4, and more Porsche 911s. This car has recently been fixed with the change in the recent patch with the suspension. It definitely has fixed this car. Gonna head towards turn number 1 then here. Rolling start, and Max Power looking around the outside. Blue Race on the inside of Hodgson then in a Ford GT. As we go through the right-hander though, I see a gap. I go into it. I get on the inside of Max Power as we go through the left-hander. And we're up into P10 then. So very close starts there very quickly. And you are going to have to think about that when you do this race as well. The next turn can be a bit of a tricky one as well as you go on the brakes here. Very easy to get this one wrong and ram somebody. Be careful, the exit there gets very slippy. It's why I had to adjust there. Max Power coming back at me now on the left-hand side. McLaren versus Ford up ahead as well as we head towards this right-hander then. We go into this corner. Unfortunately, Hodgson just gets it slightly wrong there into Blue Racer. And I take all the positions that are available to me. Happy days. P8 it is. We've got Handsome Frank up ahead in a Genesis. And I'm not sure how many Genesis are in this one. It's not a car I use that much anymore as we go through the left-hander here. Handsome Frank there getting all sorts of oversteer. That is the main reason why I don't use that car as we go into the right-hander. We've also got a penalty up ahead. I'm not sure who that was for. The German driver. Oh, it's Bold Ben. TCR Hero as we go into the left-hander then. The Genesis goes quite slow through here and is actually going to lift off on the exit here. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I'll take the free position. I appreciate that. As we go into the left-hander there, Bold Ben just going a bit deep into that final corner and then going to be really suffering with this penalty. It's uphill. You have to accelerate. It's just a bit annoying, really. What we will do is advance a bit further on then. Lap number 2, we catch up to Jammy here then as we head towards turn 1. I'm looking on the inside here. Going to be last of the late breakers and on towards the apex. And we do get it stopped. Happy days indeed. Well played, Jammy. Good effort there, good awareness as well, and good racing, which is exactly why I play Gran Turismo. Now, you're probably wondering about those tyre temps down in the bottom left-hand side. It's on an app. I will be explaining either this week or next week in a video, so do keep an eye out for that. Now, we're going to keep an eye out up ahead there. We've got a Porsche heading off to Narnia, and the Mercedes up ahead also got it wrong as well. So we're going to go up into P4 here. We're going very quickly in this race, but just seeing where that Mercedes is going to go. So they go towards the right there. You can see they're a bit like extreme with their movements, which does suggest they are a pad player here, potentially even using the arrow keys there as we continue on through here then, and we're going to head in towards the right hander, slowing it down. Now you can't really overtake too much here into these corners. It's very difficult to do. Normally line astern as we go through there. What we'll do is fast forward here and advance towards the good stuff then. So we're in the slipstream of the AMG Mercedes. They go towards the left hand side, so we're going to go towards the right hand side then as we head on to lap number 4. You're seeing some good racing so far from this one, and you definitely can have some good racing here as we go into the braking zone. Then the Mercedes outbrakes me there, actually gets it stopped as well. Beautiful stuff there from the Hungarian, I think that's the Hungarian flag anyway, as we continue on out of here. And we're still in that slipstream. We are catching the leaders at the same time. We're having their own little battle here. The Mercedes goes defensive then. We go towards the right-hand side. And once again, we're looking to try and go around the outside here. We go onto the brakes here. We've definitely outbroke them this time as we go through the left-hander. We continue on through. They give me just enough room there on exit. Beautiful stuff. As we go through here, there's a little bit of contact there. Just forces me out wide. And yeah, you saw my face change a little bit there. So maybe a mistake. Again, extreme controls on the pad potentially causing issues there as well. Well, look at the bloopers. We try and outbrake them there. They release the brakes and then they still stop the car there. So good defensive driving here. We're still on the inside. They've got really good awareness as well. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name there. Really good awareness. Going through the left-hander though, they lose the rear end of the car as I was ahead there. And I wasn't too happy with that one, to be honest with you. They do put the hazards on to apologise, but in my mind, that, I mean, you could probably lip read. That's me saying you should give the position back if that was your fault in that situation, potentially. But I'll look at the bloopers all the same. They were racing clean. Obviously, it was just a mistake. And it was just one of those where I was a bit frustrated, as you can see there, shaking my head. And I'm still yapping on. Maybe that should be a short. But Jammy does absolutely capitalise on me yapping away there. Gets up into P4. And now we've got a couple of positions to try and make up. The lead definitely slipping away from me now. 3.6 seconds off those leaders as we go into the slow section here at Interlagos. And we'll be doing a lap, guys, straight after this race, where I can tell you how to do it. And what we're going to do now is send it down the inside of Jammy there. Do we get it stopped? We do indeed. Look at this. Beautiful racing there with Jammy as we go through there. Back up into P4. And we're looking to chase down the Mercedes. So the final lap here then, lap number 6. We're heading towards the left-hander here then as we go onto the brakes. AMG goes a little bit deep there as they went in towards the inside a bit too early there. We continue on out of the corner. Mercedes goes right, so we go left there. We're going to head in towards this right-hander. We're going to try around the outside. Very hard to get this move done. Again, they're being very cautious here. Good sportsmanship with the spatial awareness here from the Mercedes driver as we go into the right-hander. They go a little bit deep here, so I'm going to try and come back at them and try and go around the outside. Now, you can go around the outside on this corner. It does work well, and mainly because that happens. If someone takes a very tight line there, they do suffer from oversteer as we are now ahead. Slight tap from behind, nothing major there. The servers were having issues this morning. Let's put it that way. What we will do is advance towards the end then, and we do finish in P3 on the podium at least for this race. And overall, in terms of score for this race, I've given this a 5 out of 10. All the scores, the details of those scores will be in a comment. I'll try and make sure I get that up earlier this time than last week. But if you're interested in how I scored this race, it will be down in the comment section. Jumping into the lap guide then, as you head towards turn 1, on the right-hand side, you've got those grey stairs. It's just before the 50 board. That is what I'm using on the practice, okay? You can see the brake balance there in the bottom right. In the race, there are 2 red gantries on the left-hand side that you can use, and I'm aimed to get towards the second one in terms of the braking. So hard on the brakes here then, and you're looking to get a nice tight line on this first part, okay? Get as far left as possible and over towards the right. Cut as much as you can while staying on the curb. I'm in 3rd gear for stability, and then keep it nice and tight as you leave this corner. Open up the steering and maximise the gains you get there from opening up that steering. So that is it. In terms of Sector 1, I can get my words out. As we go into Sector 2 then, on the right side we have a Marshall box, the 100 board, or the escape road further on. I'm actually using the 100 board here. You can use the Marshall box, it's a bit safer. The Porsche likes to oversteer a little bit on braking. Even though they fixed the car quite a lot, it's still got a little bit of issue of oversteer on braking, but that's fine. And I'm in 2nd gear here. On the throttle, be careful of the exit there. The dark green stuff, very slippy. If you do head onto that, you may spin or you'll have to lift off. You'll have to do one of the two, lift off or spin. No choice. Right, towards the right-hander we go, the double apex right-hander. On the left-hand side, we have the Marshall box. I'm braking just before I get there, and I'm going to stay in 3rd gear for this one. This is for stability reasons. If you drop to 2nd, the rear's going to come out a little bit, and the car's going to get a bit funky. But 3rd gear, much better. You want to clip the first apex, head out here, try and get on the throttle, clip the second one, then full throttle when you do clip the second one. Now, we're looking for the eyebrows in tyre marks here at Interlagos for this corner. I'm braking before that. You can see that right here. So I'm using that as a distance marker, okay? I'm trying to judge it based on that. Just keep that in mind here. You can brake a little bit later and get it turned in different cars. I'm doing that in the Porsche just so I can get it turned in and keep it stable. We accelerate out of here very quickly, and at the start of the curb on the left-hand side is a little bit of a brake marker. I stayed in 1st gear for this one, but I will be short shifting on the exit of this corner, and I'll explain that in a second. But the start of the curb here is your brake marker. You want a nice tight line for this corner. That will maximize your lap time as we go into here. Now, you notice that I short shift to 2nd. That is stability reasons, and I'm looking for the green on the inside of the curb there. That's my acceleration marker. I'm accelerating just before I get to that, and I should make it round here absolutely fine. I can't see the exit yet, but I will be able to see the exit very soon, and that's why I use an accelerating marker on this corner. There we go. Happy days. We make it. Just be careful of power oversteer, though. It can happen in a lot of cars, as we saw with the AMG in the race. For this right-hander, you've got the left-hand side light green stuff, or on the right, the curb. Now, I'm using the curb in the Porsche. You may want to use the one on the left-hand side in different cars. Entirely up to you. I give you the markers. Your choice in what you use. So I'm using the curb on the right side. I drop to first gear. Now, I short shift to second again on exit to avoid power oversteer. I try straight up the steering very quickly. Over towards the left-hand side. Lift a little bit here. Clip the curb. Once you clip the curb, you should make it round absolutely fine. And what we're looking for now is on the right-hand side, the cross in the catch fence. That is a beautiful brake marker for this final corner. I'm braking just before I get to it on the right-hand side. Now, for this corner, you want to get this corner right. This corner is vital for a lap time. If you get this wrong, it can cost you tenths of a second here. So I try and get it turned in nice and early, on the throttle as quick as I can, and that's to keep it aggressive, keep the speed up there. If you drop even a mile an hour, it'll cost you a lot. That's a 130.4, and you can chase that ghost on the leaderboard if you want to, as we jump to daily race B then, where we're at trial mounting reverse in Group 4 machinery. I like trial mounting in reverse. It's very different to the forward layout, and actually, I would argue, pretty good fun. We're doing 4 laps here, which is not enough in my opinion. Rolling start, racing hard tyres, and you can adjust the brake balance. I will say this, hard tyres do work on Group 4 cars. They really do, so I started giving higher scores for tyres in terms of that. Now, this track has been used 3 times. Twice it's been Group 4 at this circuit. This is the 3rd time. 45th on the leaderboards. It was last used in October, 1 year ago today. It's got a very brutal penalty line, and turn 1 braking is definitely not obvious, but I do have a marker you can use if you can pick it out. I chose the Genesis for this one initially because the Genesis was very near the top of the leaderboard. However, the lap guide is in the Lamborghini. Let's jump into this one and let's see how I get on. Here we are then at the start. Lamborghini is 1 and 2, and Alfa Romeo in P3. Chelsea in his trusted Scirocco in P5, and here we go. At least the rolling start is all on the straight. If you're enjoying this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content as we head towards turn 1 then. Max Power in the Hyundai Genesis is what we're going to call that one with that livery. We're going to send it down the inside though. Everyone broke really early here, being very cautious, and I was like, okay, let's go for it. Max Power keeps the position for now, but I'm going to try round the outside here and try and maintain that line. Max Power gives me plenty of space here then, and I get the better run on the exit because the car's pointing straight much quicker, and we are going to get up into P13. And as we go into this braking zone, Max Power still on the inside just there. Got to keep an eye on that as we continue on through here. Bull Ben there, just struggling on the exit, and we go on the inside here. We're actually on the inside of 2 people, and on the inside of Jammy as well as we go in to the left-hander. Do we keep the position? Got to leave room on the exit there. Very easy to wall somebody as we go down here. The Sylvia there going very slowly as well as we head in towards the right-hander. And there is Jammy keeping that position for now as we go through here then. So we're into P12, all said and done. Very close racing, very good racing here, I would say, actually, in terms of side-by-side action as we continue on to this back straight then. So I wasn't sure what to do here. Max Power was bumped after me a little bit here. Then we got close to Jammy, and I go towards the right-hand side where the Sylvia actually helps me out massively here by going towards that right-hand side as well. So I appreciate that, Yarduns. But as we head up here, then you've got to be careful of the braking zone here. So I brake kind of early here. I want to keep a nice tight line. If you even remotely go wide here, you've got issues as we continue on through here. So we're side by side with the Sylvia, who does know I'm there, which is really good awareness from the French driver as we continue on through here. Very close to the wall. We're still there, though. Heading towards this left-hander. Going to leave room on the inside. There's the Sylvia. Oh, slight bit of contact. Nothing major, though. Max Power's involved here. Now we're 3 wide heading in towards this tunnel. Can we get it stopped? Yes, we can. Keep it nice and tight. Accelerate out the corner. And finally, we are into P10. Happy days indeed. Lots of cars to overtake here up in the distance. As we continue on through here, very easy to get this one wrong. As we go into this right-hander, I want you to focus on that rearview mirror because the Sylvia, well, they have a big crash. Max Power into the wall as well. Everybody's into the wall there. We'll have a look at that one in the bloopers. What a big old crash. Now, we catch up to Greenland here as we go into the right-hander. And we've got Hudson. So it's Lamborghini, Scirocco. And I can't see what car that is ahead of them. Now, the penalty line, absolutely brutal here. So Shelty's got a penalty. Robomag's in the Jaguar F-Type with a penalty. You can see how brutal that is there. It just cost you bunches of time. And I'd argue it's pretty harsh as well, as you'll see later on. But we're in P8 right now. We're still in with a chance of a podium again as we go into this right-hander, slowing the car down. Look at that for a line. That's why you take the inside line there. What a move that is. Very clean and very effective. as we go through the right-hander. Now, did you notice anything there? I used all the curb, and unfortunately, you get a track... I mean, you see my reaction. A track limit for that. I don't think there should be any track limits on the inside of that corner, but look at the cost of time here. So we were 5 seconds behind the leader. We're over 6 there. This was a 1 second penalty, and it cost you 3 seconds, I would say. 3 seconds that penalty cost you for 1 second. It's uphill in a slow car. It's a dreadful penalty line, in my opinion, and it does need changing as well. As we go into the final lap, then we've got Greenland up ahead in the Lamborghini. Goes a little bit deep there. We're going to go into this right-hander. So they've got a very tight line here. So my goal out of this corner is to try and get the run out the corner. That Lamborghini, though, very good on the exits with its all-wheel drive capacity there. As we head up towards the right-hander, though, I'm looking on the inside here. Are we going to get it done is the question. We keep it nice and tight. In we go. And Greenland just there. And we do get up into P8 here. Head towards the left-hander then. Slow it down. You want a wider line in for this one originally, or initially there, because you get a better exit. Unfortunately, Greenland behind hits the barrier. We do finish the race, though, there, because there was no more action. So P8 in the end for me. In terms of the race, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. While you can have some good racing, it doesn't get my seal of approval because that penalty line is atrocious. It really, really, really is. You can have some good racing here, though, if you are wanting that. So I jumped in the Lamborghini then to set my lap. And as you head towards turn 1, you're looking for that person there. They're very much dark in there because they're not in the lights, but you will see them on the braking zone. That is my brake marker for turn 1. I used it every single time. It worked every single time, so I highly advise you use that as well. You can see it on chase cam right there. It's not obvious because it's not a bright color, but they're definitely there and it's definitely usable. So as we go into this left-hander, we clip the curb over towards the left-hand side as quick as we can, and what we're looking for here is the curb and sausage on the right. Now that is your brake marker. It's your indication when it gets very close to the edge of your screen. Dab the brakes and chuck it in. And I say chuck it in here because you want to be really aggressive on the exit in this car, in this Lamborghini. It's all-wheel drive, it will stick, and it's all about just getting your throttle down and out you go. Now, I could be more aggressive there and gained even more time. I really could have. We're going to head up here then, and we can breathe a little bit here. We've got some couple of obvious markers for this one. So on the left, if you want to use this, I don't use this. You've got the yellow tyre wall that starts. It's just after that. What I actually use is a tree on the right. So as that tree really does hit the edge of my screen, that's when I hit the brakes in Group 4 machinery at this circuit. It's a really good brake marker, that tree, actually, because you're looking on the inside anyway, and you kind of want a wider line in. You get on the inside there and accelerate out of the corner. Just be careful of the exit there. Very easy to clip the grass and go for a spin. As we go up here then, you got a big old rock there on the left-hand side. That is your brake marker for this left-hander. Now, I mentioned it in the race. I'll mention it here again. A wider line in is actually better for you if you do struggle with understeer on the exit, okay? A wider line in. So you'd stay out a bit longer and then come in, and your car will get round fine. I'm going to do it here as well. Notice there, I'm carrying the speed, and then I come out the corner, and I'm not going to hit the barrier. If you turn in too early, you're going straight to that curb, and you're going to lose your lap straight away. We head down here then, and on the left-hand side, you've got these concrete barriers here, okay? You got the black sign, you got the Texaco signs, but there's these blank ones every so often on the advertisement. The last blank one is your brake marker, okay? So when you get to that point, when it gets to the edge of your screen, hit the brakes. A wide line in here is also good, and what we're looking for is that big old rock there on the inside. That's your accelerating marker. Now, you can accelerate earlier like I've done here, but once it gets alongside your screen and you're pretty much alongside it, definitely be 100% throttle. If you're not, you're going to have a really slow exit. We're going uphill on this back straight, so you need to carry every single miles an hour that is humanly possible, because if you don't, you're going to cost yourself loads of time. It's all about carrying speed on that corner, which means a wider line in is a better line in. Now, the end of the tunnel here, on the right side, you've got the electrical box there, the furthest right box. That's not your braking marker. That's the signal. The next little gantry stick thing in the tunnel is your brake marker, and that's what I'm actually using here. So it tells you it's coming up, and then you hit the brakes. And that's what I'm going to do here. Notice I do that. Nice tight line here. You want to be as tight as possible, and then you can accelerate very quickly out the corner. Head over towards the right-hand side as quick as possible. The big old rock there, you're braking just before that, okay? And you want to chuck the car in, because what will happen here is if you brake too late and turn in too late, you're just going to understeer. It's a really easy corner to understeer on. So when you get close to that rock on the right side, the big rock, the one bit further on there, we turn in, and we're trying to be aggressive straight off the bat here. Carry the speed over towards the right hand side, keep towards the right, okay? And we've got this big old rock there. These rocks are very helpful in terms of trial mounting. We're braking just before we get to that. Now, I can actually brake a bit later than I do here, so just keep that in mind. I can brake a bit closer to that rock. You're going to see me adjust myself in this corner. So we're going to drop to second gear in the Lamborghini, and we turn it in. Notice that I'm adjusting myself as we continue on through. I rolled a bit too long. If I was a bit more aggressive, I could have rotated the car easier. Now, this tunnel, I recommend you start turning earlier than the crest of the hill. If you don't, you're going to understeer way out wide. And it's the start of the tunnel, which is sort of your brake marker here. So notice I'm turning in before I've even hit the crest of the hill. That means the weight shift is going to help the car turn in. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So then I'm really early on the throttle. I'm trying to carry the speed through there. And then this is where it gets very tricky at the end of the lap. So we're going to turn in here, up to 5th gear. Now, as we get towards the crest of the hill here, you've got the yellow tyre wall on the left-hand side. Now, you can use that, or you can use the crest of the hill, but you want to start turning left here before you can even see it. Not too much, but just start turning left. It'll balance the weight of the car as well. The reason for this, you want to be as far left as possible for the final corner, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, head over towards the right side. I don't cut this as much as I could have, but that's because I was avoiding a penalty and wanted to complete the lap, because I knew it was quite a good lap, this one. I think it's 0.6 from memory, 58.6. As we cross the line, there we go. Still timing the lap, but that is how you do a lap here. Try out to reverse. And a Lamborghini Huracan Group 4 car. Now we're back in Group 3 for the final race. I'm back in a Porsche again. And we're at the Nurburgring, the GP layout. So obviously it's a good circuit. Minus the chicane at the end. Now there's another reward increase on this one. Plus 600%. No idea what's going on at the moment. 9 laps, rolling start, racing soft tyres. And you do have to pit at least once. Times 3 tyre wear. And you can adjust the brake balance. Now the soft tyres are a bit weird, to be honest with you. And we're going to get into that in a bit more detail in a second. First up, the key statistics. We've used this track 9 times. The track and car combo 5 times. Used combo is 8th. And guess what? We last used it on the 8th of July. The exact same as Interlagos. Very bizarre, in my opinion. Now, the issue is to put huge grip here. There is way too much grip for these cars. And the chicane can be tricky. Now, I talk about the grip as being a problem because you really have to abuse the downforce then, which means you have to abuse the car even more. And that does create a bit of a problem. Let's jump into the race and we'll have a look at exactly what that problem is. Here we are then on the final race. Genesis in pole, lots of Porsches, Lamborghini up there as well. Got a Nissan behind. And if you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Right down there, going towards the right side there, not wanting any parts of this race in that BMW Z4. Nice to see Z4, by the way, as we head towards turn number 1. Now, of course, turn 1 can have plenty of crashes on lap 1. You do have to be careful here. Side by side up ahead there. Max Power and Blue Racer in an Audi R8. Nice to see the Audi out and about. We continue on through there then. And literally 3 wide up ahead. You can see how it closes up very quickly. Now, racing soft tyres does promote this. The more grip there is, I've always said this, the more grip there is, the closer the racing will be. However, there does have to be a compromise here with speed as well. Now, up ahead there, 3 wide going into the left-hander then. Unfortunately there, Max Power gets tagged and is going to head off to Narnia, so we will take our position. And you can see here we're side by side up ahead. Now, the reason I talked about that is because when you've got faster cars, downforce becomes more a part of the action, and here downforce is going to be critical. That's why you really have to abuse the speed of the cars. Now, on the inside there, Bahamas gets tagged by Laporte. We're going to take 2 positions from that, sticking on the outside. A dangerous move by me, but one that actually worked out very nicely. Blue Racer has managed to stay ahead here as we go into the left-hander. We're very close to that Audi R8 as we continue through the Schumacher S. But the big thing here, and I just mentioned it, the downforce. Because you have to be more aggressive with the car to get more downforce. Obviously, if you go through a corner 5 miles an hour quicker, you'll have more downforce. You can actually do the corner quicker. That's the idea behind it with these soft tyres. The issue is that causes bigger skill gaps that can happen, you know. And that means in the race, you can have more carnage. And that's exactly what's going to happen this week with this race. As we head in towards the chicane here, I'll look to slow it down there. Blue Racer defends the inside. It's not a place I would go for an overtake normally as we continue on through here. But we've only got 9 laps. Now, I did think about going in there, but I decided to stay out 1 more lap just to see what the tyres are going to look like by the end of this lap. Blue Racer gets it wrong in towards turn 1. We get on the inside of Blue Racer here. Side-by-side action. And as we continue on out still side-by-side as we head towards this left-hander. Very easy to get this one wrong. Blue Racer, though, really accelerates out of that corner to defend the position and defends it very well indeed. A little bit of sketchiness on the exit then. Where's Blue Racer going to go? Right or left? Goes towards the right side. I'm going to head towards the left then. In towards the braking zone we go once again. We're side by side. Hope you're not playing the drinking game here, folks. As we go into the right. Blue Racer defends it once again. Unfortunately for me, Blue Racer looks to stop the understeer. You can see there, I was hoping to get on the inside. I didn't quite do it, and that does cost me here as we head in towards the hairpin. We're still with the leaders, though. We're only 6.5 seconds off the lead there. Slight tap on Blue Racer, and you can see the servers having issues there as well as we continue on through here, heading over towards the right-hand side for the Schumacher S. We lift a little bit here just due to the dirty air. There is a custom slipstream on this week, I believe, for this race. So the dirty air shouldn't be as bad as normal as we head into the braking zone. Then there's the Porsche up ahead going very slowly indeed. Norman looks to get on the inside. Going to be the outside for the next corner. Gets it done though. Well played to Norman. As we continue on through here, Smoke then just struggling a little bit here. We're going to follow Blue Racer through then. That's going to be us up into P9. There we go. As we head towards the chicane. Then Blue Racer staying defensive then as we head into the braking zone. We have a slight tap on Blue Racer, but we do manage to get it stopped. Unfortunately then, the Constantine effect, the physics all bounces all together, and I decided at this moment in time, better for me to come in the pits now. It is costing me way too much time to be in these fights, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Plus, the damage will disappear while I'm in the pits because of how long it takes in the pits. So I decided to change tyres here. Some people decide not to change tyres. I would recommend most people to change tyres at some point in the race. I did pit early here, but even a fresh set of tyres, well, that's like, got an extra couple of laps, 3 of them, rather than staying on the same tyres, it's beneficial. You'll get a bit more grip at the end of the race. Yes, okay, someone pits on lap 5 or 4, you're going to lose out a little bit there. But even so, you're trying to build up your speed. So this is lap number 4 then. Everybody else up ahead has come in the pits. I do believe they haven't changed tyres either here. As we head in towards the left-hander then here. Lap number 4, Hodgson's up ahead. Bahamas is there as well. Bahamas hasn't been in the pits yet, I believe. Bahamas was in that incident earlier on. We continue on through here then, and you can see we're in this line of cars then. And Bahamas heads towards the right-hand side here. We're following very closely. We can't actually see. Notice Bahamas there slows up, so I just make a quick reaction there, slowing this down then. As we go into the chicane, we slow it down, and Hodgson there just stops there. We didn't quite expect that, and then gets the exit wrong. Now, I'm looking at this now. Maybe I should have waited up there. I'm not too sure. Looking at it now. At the time, I didn't think anything was wrong with that, but... when you review something, sometimes you go, should I have waited up there? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think I should wait up there. We're going to continue on with the racing all the same here as we head towards turn 1. Hodgson actually in the slipstream here as we head in towards that corner and sends it down the inside here, looking to get it stopped. So I open up the steering here just to make sure Hodgson's got enough space there, and we do continue on. Good racing action there as we go into the left-hander. And you can see that it's costing me time a little bit here. So changing tyres costs you 3 to 5 seconds, depending on the circuit. And in this situation, it has cost me time because I'm stuck in the traffic again, which arguably means the change of soft tyres is useless. Absolutely useless. We'll see how we go on this race then as we fast forward a little bit more here and head down towards the hairpin. Round we go, and we're looking to try and catch up to Blue Racer. But as we go into the Schumacher S here, I just click the left-hand side, and the car just gets all sorts of oversteer there. Didn't have that at all in practice or in the race before this in terms of the 4 laps previous. But yeah, this time I had it. So I managed to rescue it a little bit there. Hodgson said that was a good save. I did try my best to save that one, to be honest with you. It's towards the right we go, and I've still got dirt on my tyres. So I'm trying to defend here. But unfortunately, I haven't got that much grip to defend from then. And you can see my face. I'm just a bit confused with it. And it's cost me a little bit of time here because I'm wanting to push on here. I feel I've got a lot of pace to give. I feel I could really get far in this grid. So Hodgson up ahead. Now I did say don't overtake at the chicane. At this point, I'm like, I'm going to have to go for this now. We've not got that many laps left. So I go into the left-hander. We do get it stopped then. And we're through up into P11. What I will say is the number of laps here doesn't help this race in the slightest. It really doesn't. 9 laps is a very quick daily race C. And it does mean more aggressive driving as well. So with the grippier tyre, you are going to see aggressive driving. You see me driving more aggressively here to try and get myself through the field. And it's the same for everybody else. Everybody will feel that they need to get ahead. Try and get ahead on any given corner because you don't have that many laps to do it. So the Porsche on my right side gives that one up. That's something I would highly advise if somebody is on your inside at chicane. Get it up and then try and get them back on the start-finish straight. We've got a lot of grip here though because we did change tyres versus those that didn't. And we're already on the back of Blue Racer then as we go into this right-hander. Continue on through here then, and we're going to be in the slipstream then as we head on to lap number 8, the penultimate lap here in Daily Race C. It seems weird to see 9 laps here at Nurburgring for Daily Race C. Blue Racer then, we've got Mass Power coming out the pits as well as we go onto the brakes, and we're 3 wide here. Blue Racer releases brakes a little bit there, I think. We're trying to get on the inside there, and we managed to get the position then, all said and done. That was a nice move if I do say so myself. Up into P7. Now what we're going to do is advance to the final lap where we catch up to Lewis. So Lewis is in P5 here in that Lamborghini. Hasn't changed tyres either, so I know they're struggling. Same for the German in P4. So we're trying to get ahead of Lewis very quickly here. See if we can catch up to the German then. Lewis does get the advantage on the exit though, which is all good as we go into the Schumacher S for the final time then. Lifting a bit more here. Very easy to catch the gravel on the right hand side. Lewis gets it all sorts of wrong there, and unfortunately, I do tap Lewis when he's in the gravel, and then I do wait up here. At the moment, I'm trying to think, should I be waiting here or not? As we go to the left-hander there, Lewis just gets a whole lot of rubs here. I noticed Lewis did chat in chat as well there. So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe we can race from this point and everything should be fine. That's what we're going to try and do here as we head towards the end. I don't think I should have waited there in the end because I think that was more on Lewis's mistake. I was trying to think at the time, should I be waiting, should I not be waiting? I decided to wait, and then when we got side by side, that was it. Now, going to the chicane side by side here with Brown Banana. This is very hard to do, and my word, do we make this work. The Z4 goes on through there, and that is a very good move. Very, very good move. You do not see side by side action at the chicane very often at all. We're going to head towards the line then, and that is going to be it in terms of Daily Race C, and we come home in a very lowly P10 position. In terms of the scores then for this one, I've given this race a 5 out of 10. Again, you can see all the details down below in terms of why I've given the scores in certain situations, but you can definitely have some good racing here, and there is strategy whether you change tyres or not, and when you do come in the pit, so at least that's good. Now, in terms of a lap then, here you do. No, it's not here you do. Here you go. Head towards turn 1 then. On the left-hand side, you got the escape road. So as the escape road goes back to grass there just before the 100 board, that is your brake marker for turn 1. Now, remember what I said during all this Daily Race C part. You have to be aggressive here in this car. Maximize the downforce. Maximize the speed in the car. You've got all the grip in the world on these soft tyres. The first gear, we're getting the inside, instantly on the throttle as quick as we can, over towards the right-hand side, and then we're going to go into this left-hander. For some cars, you can lift here, but arguably in most, you can actually dab the brake because you have such good grip on the exit of turn 1. You're going to be carrying more speed than normal, so you may want to dab your brake here with that escape road on the right-hand side. Keep a nice tight line if you can. Highly recommend it. And what we're looking for here is that tower there. You can't really see the orange painted barrier part, but that tower, a really nice accelerating marker, and that's what I'm using. As it gets closer to the center of my screen, the more I should be on the throttle, and that's what I use here. So that's what I'm going to try and do. You can see it very clearly on chase cam there, and we accelerate through the corner. So we can use a lot of the curb there, but make sure you stay 2 wheels on the track. On the left hand side, we have the lamppost. You want to brake in a straight line for this one, so I normally try and point towards the middle of the circuit. When the lamppost gets towards the edge of my screen is when I'm going to hit the brakes. Brake in a straight line if you can, then start to release the brakes and turn in. Now in the Porsche, I'm going to drop to first gear. I want to get on the inside a little bit if I can, as far left as possible. I accelerate out of that 2-second gear, lift up a little bit in terms of the throttle, and then continue on out of that corner. It's all about maximizing the exit there in terms of time, and that's 35.2, not too shabby, sector 1. As we go to sector 2 then, as the short circuit, the sprint circuit goes off to the right. That is our marker for this left-hander. Now, the Porsche gets very unstable here. Other cars may not get as unstable. I think the BMW got a little bit unstable as well when I tried it. But essentially, you're going to go into this corner. You may not want to drop a gear straight away, but I delay the gear shift there just for stability reasons. And then for this right-hander, on the left-hand side, the red and white curb in the very last part of that, that's my brake marker for this right-hander. You're going to have to delay the throttle a little bit here for this right-hander. You're going to let the car roll a little bit. It's very easy to accelerate too early, a bit like what Blue Racer did. You just accelerate a bit too early, and then you're going to hit the gravel. So I delayed it there. I use all the curb on the exit, and we continue down towards the hairpin, where I'm going to have many markers for you to choose from. So in terms of the markers then, you've got the start of the drainage on the left-hand side, or curbing, or whatever it is. You've got the scoreboard there, or the grid order on the right-hand side there in the middle. But I actually use the cabin. So as the cabin disappears off my screen, that's when I'm going to hit the brakes. I'm going to brake in a straight line all the way to the curb, okay? That's what I'm trying to do here. Now, it's sort of like a V shape, but then we try and keep it as tight as possible. In terms of accelerating, when you start seeing the exit curb, start accelerating. You can't actually see the exit yet, but you know it's coming up because of the exit curb existing. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. It's not the exit then, is it? So when you see that, start accelerating, and you should get around the corner absolutely fine. There's lots of curb to use on the exit, so do straighten up as quick as you can, and yeah, use it and abuse it. We're going to head up towards the Schumacher S, then. This is a nice, simple corner. Go into here, lift off tiny bit, and continue on through. You probably can do it flat. I found it a bit risky to do it flat, though, as we continue on towards the left-hander. 2 markers to look out for here. You got marshals on the left-hand side, so you can potentially use those. I try and just judge it based on the 100 board, so I'm going to brake in the middle of the 100 board and where that road is here. And when I hit the brakes, I want to actually brake in a straight line and try and release it early so I can just get on the inside here and carry speed. That's what I'm trying to do there. Quickly on the throttle over towards the left-hand side. We've got a marshal on the left, which you can hardly see here. And I don't use this marker, I might add. And you've got the tarmac ending on the right-hand side, which is the one I do use, okay? So you want to drop a gear here, get it rotated in. You want to get on the inside here so you can clip the curb. The second you clip the curb is usually when you want to accelerate. I try and do that. There we go. Clip the curb, full throttle. We make it absolutely fine. If you do touch the gravel, just keep your foot to the floor. You should be fine. It'll slow you down a little bit, but it won't destroy your lap. Might ruin it a little bit. Okay. We're going to head towards the chicane then. I really hate the chicane. I really, really, really do. So we've got the 100 board, or where this curbing or drainage goes slightly wider. That's what I use as a brake marker. You can use the Zurich sign on the left-hand side. It's not one I use, but it's just pointing it out for you if you do want to use that. Once I get to that 100 board, I'm going to hit the brakes. So you want to abuse the curbs as much as possible, especially the one on the right. Absolutely plant it there and continue on towards the final corner. So on the final corner, on the left-hand side, we have an orange painted barrier with 2 marshals stood behind it. That is the final marker for this track and this circuit and for this corner. And literally, you want to brake heading towards the corner. Don't brake in a straight line because it's just going to compromise you a lot. Let's say I'm turning towards the corner and then release the brakes. The car turns early on the throttle. Make sure you get on the throttle very early here. It'll stabilize any car that you drive. We head towards the line. That's a 53.4 there. Technically 53.5 actually. Was that close to it. What we're going to do now is jump to the bloopers then. Here we go. What's up first? It's Hodgson then in the Ford GT. Coming into this right-hander, Hodgson just brakes a tiny bit too late. You can see Hodgson trying to stop the mistake happening. Unfortunately, it's too late there and looking to let Blue Racer go here. Good sportsmanship there from Hodgson. As with TCR, we make mistakes, but we try and say sorry for the mistakes by doing whatever's necessary. Brilliant bit of sportsmanship here from Van Nistelrooy there. See, they could see they were out-braking themselves, went towards the right-hand side. Really good stuff. Now we've got both the Hungarian here. We had a really good race with the Hungarian. So this was the first bit of contact. And you can see the extreme in terms of turning there. Slight bit of contact. I'm not sure why they straightened up a little bit there rather than continuing the turn. So, yeah, that was a bit frustrating. But even so, they're still racing me very clean here. So, you know, we're just looking at the incidents here in a bit more detail. So through the right here then. So I am the lead car at this moment in time. As we go through the left, it does understeer a little bit and then hit me off. Now, because I was the lead car in that situation, I believe you should give that position up there because you capitalised there on a bit of contact. That's just my opinion on that one. As we jump to the Silvia, as they went through the right, you can see there they got all of it completely wrong. That's where I said you need to be far left as possible. And unfortunately, this Silvia, the Repsol Silvia, goes for a spin. What's next? So we'll go straight to Daily Race C here. Then we got max power and 3 wide isn't going to work here then. It never will work 3 wide here. Very hard to get right there. And unfortunately, max power is going to go off. That's definitely not Laporte's fault either, that one. That's just a racing incident. We jump on board Laporte then, who is going to touch Bahamas Racing here. So you see how close the racing is, which is always going to happen with the racing soft tyres. In towards the right we go. That's one I'd argue that Laporte should have just held back on, to be honest. And Laporte continues on there. Probably should have waited up for that one. That move wasn't going to happen when they were already 2 wide up ahead. We jump on board the German then. So this is the one in towards the chicane. And you see here, it's just literally pinball in terms of I got fired into Blue Racer there. So definitely shouldn't have waited up on my part. And I think they get a penalty here as well, actually, from me. Yes, there it is, penalty. Bit harsh, in my opinion. This is the move with Blue Racer and max power. Let's see how close this was then. We go onto the brakes then. And Blue Racer, I think, released the brakes a little bit there. And look at this. On the inside was max power. We managed to give everybody just enough space and capitalise on that one. We're going to jump to the final incident then. This is the one with Lewis as we head in towards the Schumacher S. We go through here and we both clip the gravel there. And you can see there, Lewis just lifts off, I think, there. And then I have nowhere to go because I don't expect the lift off. And that is what happens. Do be careful if you do lift off like that because if the person behind will definitely not know you are going to be lifting off. Let's have a look from Lewis' perspective then. Does Lewis lift? Yeah, it just lifts off there. And arguably already loses it. Still not sure whether I should have waited up there, if I'm honest with you. Very tight call. But I did. And then we end up side by side anyway. That's going to be it for this video, though, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. That's going to be it for me. Do check out the partners down below. They do support the channel. If you do use them, I appreciate using those links or discount codes. Do check out those videos there as well. And I hope to see you in another video live stream again very soon.